It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. I am one of your hosts from a mysterious room with a blurred background because it's 100 degrees more in my attic.
37.
Yeah, 37. Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium, alongside the man with the Undisputed Elite shirt. We'll clap it up for that. Mr. Kyle Masters, what is up?
Damn right. We wear every show. Because you know why? It doesn't say in red, Paragon across my chest.
It does to me.
It says Undisputed Elite. That's
Still
right.
Paragon to me. Damn it.
Yeah, it's still real to you.
That other voice you hear is Mr. Defiant himself.
Defiant. Kirk
Defiant.
Ranner here.
One of the words. Kurt
Fuck
Ranner.
you guys. No.
Anthony DiStefano, what's up?
What's up? We got some positive news. So I want to share with this. So this week's been very, very bad for one of our community members, Monty. If you watch AWF, the professor, one of the best people we know, right? One of the most amazing people in our community, was battling some major health issues, was in the hospital with pneumonia, wasn't doing well, and today he got released and he's home. So I was going to give you a negative update, and then his wife texted me today. He's home, chilling with the animals, back, on the mend. So all the vibes we sent out worked, but, shoot him a message, tell him you love him, and send some positive vibes, because Monty is the man. But I'm doing well. I wasn't supposed to be on the show this week, but then we moved it to Friday, so I'm able to be on the show this week. I wasn't not even supposed to be here, but we have a programming announcement.
I get the reference you're doing.
We have a programming announcement for next week, as there will not be an Elite POV next week.
What?
Because
Shit.
We're gonna gear up for our 50th episode in 2 weeks. We'll be doing a 50th episode celebration. It's a celebration, bitches.
That's 100%
Yes, we
why
want
we're
to
not
have
here
it
next week.
Yeah, obviously a lot of us are busy next week, and it's hard to get it. But also,
Keep it kayfabe, dickhead.
Yeah, if you think about it, we don't want to have a 50th episode and only have like 2 of us here. So
Yeah.
It's better to wait. It's only a week. It's fine.
We all need a week off. We're going to be honest with you. We need this week.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now with summer starting to hit. Everyone's jobs are ramping up. It's 10,000 degrees in this house. And the person who's not here today, Jackie, she needed the week off, which is hey, we're all getting burned out. It happens.
We miss Jackie.
Yeah, we miss Jackie. But we will push on for her.
Yeah.
And if you're still guys first time listening, welcome. It's kind of a mess, but it's what it is. We are available on twitch.tv/ElitePOV every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, even though this week it's at Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is cool because we get to talk about the early Rampage as well that just aired, so that would be fun. And if you guys missed a live show, we are available youtube.com/ElitePOV or anywhere you guys get your podcast. Also, patreon.com/ElitePOV, where there's a brand new show that will be debuting soon.
Yeah.
Kyle, let them know about that.
That's actually going to be recorded tonight, and it'll be up for free. First episode is going to be up for free for everybody. Myself and Insider Kimmy are getting together for a show. If you guys are a fan of the Wrestling Observer with Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, it's going to be a similar show. Insider Kimmy and me are going to go in on everything she knows and talk about like rumors and stuff in the pro wrestling world and kind of give our takes on it. So it'll be what she hears, which again, we're going to put a disclaimer right off the bat. Don't take what you hear from us factual. It's only what she's hearing from her inside sources, and we're just going to give our opinions on them. But we're coming together to make that just for you guys on Patreon. So again, the first episode will be free for everybody to go on. After that, it'll be behind the paywall, like Sean Ross Sapp does every week.
Yeah.
With
his inside information.
Yeah, he always jokes with his like $5. Let's go, guys. You guys want some information? Give me a $5.
Yeah, exactly. And also ElitePOVmerch.com. Make sure you guys go up there, get our wonderful merch that we have, and also, more importantly, get that gay pride, trans pride, non-binary pride shirts that we have up there. All the proceeds are going to Nate's Surgery Fund. There's a lot of great people who have been sending us pictures of them wearing it. Thank you. We appreciate it. We want to make sure everybody gets their pride shirts before the month of June, because we know the month of June is Pride Month. We want to make sure you guys are ready to go with the merchandise. And so thank you for everybody who purchased it so far. And thank you for everybody who will be purchasing in the future. Also, if you guys don't want to buy the shirt, it's fine. There's GoFundMe links if you want to support Nate on my Twitter and on Jackie's Twitter. So if you want to go that route, that is also acceptable as well. But enough promoting. We have a lot to talk about. 2 great episodes of AEW from this week. And I want to start right off with me and Kyle's girls. Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter in the first round of the Owen. We're starting there.
Okay.
Yeah, so Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter.
My girl doesn't need a tournament. My girl doesn't need a tournament because she's a champion.
We know.
A tournament.
Wow.
So the first round of the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament, where they had Owen Hart's family in the crowd, which was really cool. It was kind of mind-blowing to even see them and talk about that, how crazy it was to see Martha and his kids there.
Listen, there was obviously it's a weird situation, right? Because for so many years wrestling fans were upset at Martha for not letting Owen be in the Hall of Fame, right? This was before AEW existed. And then once, it's like she almost knew, right? It's like, this is the perfect place to honor his legacy. Like, not the company that killed him. The place that he should be honored in pro wrestling isn't a company that's going to use his name and do right by it, have a great tournament, make it the big deal that it is, not just put his name out there in the Hall of Fame and forget about him, right? So, it was really cool to see the family there having fun and just getting their reactions to some of these matches. The first match when she clapped and she said, I guess, she definitely wanted Dax to win, which was awesome. It was just so much fun. It was really cool to see them. Like, I hope that's a constant. I can't wait till they present the trophy. I would love to hear a speech from her. I would love to hear her thoughts on it. She did a really good job on the dark side of the ring. If you watch that,
she did a great job on Jericho's podcast. They did
great job
a few years ago, kind of talking about everything.
I want to see her with a live mic in front of wrestling fans so she can feel it, because they'll be chanting Owen, and I want that family to feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Feel all that love that us as fans, especially for people like Ant, who grew up such diehard Owen Hart fans, finally getting a chance to kind of publicly get to show their love to his family, which I think would be really cool. But as far as the match, Kyle, what do you think about the match? Because a lot of people are loving it. Both women worked a very strong, close to the chest style. They beat the shit out of each other, and it was a lot of fun.
I think a lot of people expected this to happen. I think there was everyone had the expectation this was going to be a banger match as soon as it was announced, and it was where they were going with. Even before that, they're teasing the hell out of this. It's going to be Jamie and Tony, and then when they showed the bracket of potentially the second round could be Britt and Jamie Hayter, that's got people thinking so it's not really a for sure Toni Storm win here, even though she did pick up the victory, which I can sit here and be like, oh well, I'd love to change that decision, but anyways, the match itself was fantastic, great match. Tony even hitting with that spike pile driver right at the end was really cool. I don't know, it was a tough first round match. I feel like that could have been probably a second round match. I don't know if that's just my bias towards Tony or towards Jamie Hayter.
It was so good for the first round, right? It was that could have been that could have been the final, right? And
well, the thing to me that's weird is even when we were talking about predictions, I thought it was going to end up being Britt Baker versus Toni Storm.
No, I thought it was going to be Jamie Hayter.
but they would potentially face each other in the second round.
Oh, you're talking
Now,
about the finals. Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, next week it's Britt Baker versus the Joker. Like we don't know who this mystery person is, and there's all these rumors of who it could be. I know Kyle was saying before the show that on Control Center, Tony Schiavone said that both Jokers have officially signed to AEW. So that means it's somebody newer coming into the company and not just someone that's already on the roster. So, but as far as the match,
that.
yeah, as far as before
It's on
you
the
came in.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So, as far as the match, I thought it was excellent. I think the power driver was a little sloppy,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks because it was like a rough ending to a fantastic match. I love how physical both women are, and I love how much the crowd gets behind both of them. I think with watching Britt and Thunder and Serena, Sheeta, Jade is another one, right? Statlander. There's a lot of these girls who get huge reactions when they come out, and the crowd is really invested in their matches, especially when they face each other. And I know a lot of people like Riho, and we'll talk about it later, but like the crowd could care less with Ruby and Riho, which sucks because it was a fun match. Mm-hmm. But like the crowd was very much invested in Tony versus Jamie, which is we love to see because they're going to feed off of it, and it looks great on TV when you're watching it. But the match was great. I'm happy Toni Storm won. She was my pick to win this tournament. I think going forward, I think it would be great for her to win. I mean, it would have been great if Hayter won. It'd be great if any of these women won. So I think it'd be cool, but I love the match, though.
I talked myself into Jamie Hayter winning to be Jade's next threat. I talked myself into it.
I think Statlander is Jade's next threat.
I think so, too, with the way that Rampage went tonight. Mm-hmm. Like, she's going to go through the baddies and then... But I talked myself into it because Hayter is intimidating looking. You know what I mean? She's big. She can go face to face, and there's not a big size difference. She's built. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I definitely made a mistake. I worked myself into a shoot, brother.
HH.
Fangy in the chat saying he thinks it's either Nixon or Athena. It's most likely Athena. I don't know if Nixon got her visa stuff sorted out. You got to remember, a lot of the wrestlers that were signed to WWE who are here on work visas, when they got released, they would have to technically go back to their country because they're not working here anymore. And in order for you to be in the U.S., you have to have a work visa. But in order to get signed to a company, you have to be here on a work visa. It's such a weird thing. I know the Iconics struggle with that. Jonah struggled with that. Buddy Matthews struggled with it. All the Australian wrestlers had such a hard time with that, right? And it's not like they're married to an American here, so they get citizenship. So I think it's going to be Athena. I know she has said in interviews that she would work for Impact or AEW if they called, right? She would answer the phone and go. She wants to work for both places. So I think it would be a lot of fun. Now, another rumor is maybe Deonna, because I know Deonna and Britt wanted to have their match, but Deonna going with the Tony Schiavone thing, Deonna's not signing. She's still with Impact for, I think, another year. So
listen. She can go work in front of 700 people total at the pay-per-view, or she can work in front of 1,000.
700 people at capacity.
At capacity.
Not even total, because there is the stage still.
With the fire exits, in it right here, the fire rules, you have 600 people, right? Because you can't put 700. I don't want that. I want Deonna to be here really bad.
But it would be cool to see Deonna versus Britt, right?
I wouldn't put that in the first round. No, you got to make money off that match. It would be stupid to give it away.
Yeah.
Got to build that up and fucking make some money off that.
We should talk about what was just tweeted right before the show because it deals with the tournament. So Hikaru Shida did tweet out a weird post where she says, "Well, I already had 4 matches after my street fight because they're saying that Shida was pulled because she got apparently now it's quote unquote injured from the street fight she had with Serena Deeb. So she goes, well, I already had 4 matches after my street fight and just finished the greatest fighting musical show, whatever that is. But she goes, but I seem to have been injured, ... Japanese wrestling is nothing for them. I'm so sorry, and sorry I couldn't be in the tournament too. Oof.
Well, the thing is, when AEW tweeted out that she was replaced, she quote tweeted and put what? ?
They probably didn't tell her.
And then she just tweeted.
Tell her? Like, how do you not tell her?
Like 2 minutes ago, I'm glad for my heart that Chris is in the tournament now, and I'm going to try to enjoy sudden holidays in Japan because it's been a while before I had. Be positive.
Interesting.
Whoa.
I really and I keep saying this to myself all the time, and to anybody who would listen. I think this is a very important year for AEW because this is very much their growing year. Like they're gonna fuck up. They're gonna make a lot of mistakes. They're gonna the honeymoon phase is over. You're running a business. You gotta if this situation is what it seems, you need to inform your talent if your storyline taking them out of a match.
What is my problem is Tony Khan, you're running a soccer team, you're running a professional football team. Stop doing it. If this is what you want to do, your dad can hire somebody else. You know what I mean? Like you need to put all your eggs in this basket because if this shit happens, it is horrible PR and all that momentum you had of stealing people away diminishes because everyone's like, why am I going to go there? What the fuck? They don't even tell people that they're off a feud. You know what I mean?
And that was the one big thing with a lot of the releases. Like I remember in Nyx's interview, she talked about that, where it's like, oh, they just found out randomly, they found out through social media. So it's like, let's not turn into that type of company. That would be really heartbreaking. And I don't want him to lose Sheeta. Sheeta is the most decorated champion in the company. She had the longest title reign in the entire company's history, right? And she's had incredible matches. I hope this is just something weird that happened and they can kind of talk about it and smooth things over. But this is going to be a tough year for AEW altogether.
Well, especially with all the news coming out with MJF and stuff, man. It's not good. But the good thing is with every negative, CM Punk just said it's the most fun he's ever had working for a company. Yeah. So
it also sucks too because the fact that this is happening in the women's division where there's already a lot of scrutiny. So that's why it's taken. I think it's
even worse.
More of a hit. And speaking of MJF, me and Kimmy will actually have more news on that tonight, guys, in our exclusive show. So check out that. But yeah, it's not a good look if this is true. I imagine it has to be true. I can't. She is not the type of person to just go out and talk shit like that.
Yeah, she just seems like a super professional.
So that's kind of messed up. They didn't tell her. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah. So in keeping talking about the tournament, we might as well just kind of mix both shows up. So it was officially announced on Rampage that Sheeta's replacement is Chris Statlander. So it will be Statlander versus Red Velvet in the first round. Now it's been a lot of rumors and a lot of kind of fantasy booking by a lot of the fans that they want to see Statlander versus Jade. This could be a way to kind of get that going, right? Because we saw Statlander come out and interrupt the Baddies during their promo to announce that she was a part of this tournament. And Statlander and Red Velvet would be great. They've had matches before, I believe, or they've been in tag matches before. They have a lot of chemistry together. It'd be a lot of fun, which I really cannot wait for that match. I think it's going to be awesome. And the rest of the tournament looks great. We get the Britt Baker match against the Joker next week on Dynamite. So I don't know. I'm really excited about this. I still think they're going to stick the landing, but it might be a little messed up, right? A little crazy going into it with all the stuff going on with Sheeta. But from one Owen Hart match to another, we get the match that we wish Jackie was a part of this to talk about. When she's on next, we'll have her give her thoughts on it. But we get Dax versus Adam Cole, and what a match. What a beautiful match, especially for people like myself who absolutely idolize and worship Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, Iron Man, WrestleMania 12. There was a lot of throwbacks to that match in this match, and I saw Fangy earlier mention it, and I saw a lot of people upset on Twitter. There was no way Dax was going to win this match. Let's be honest, right? It was going to be Adam Cole. Adam Cole has lost twice since being in AEW. Once to Orange Cassidy and three times. Once to Orange Cassidy. Twice
Orange Cassidy doesn't count.
Oh yeah, technically
doesn't count. So Hangman Page is the only person who's
beating him. So it's like and we love Dax, and it would have been great for Dax to win. But it was clearly they're booking this tournament in the male side with a lot of storylines in mind.
With how over FTR is, Tony's going to have to do something and put the belts on them.
Yeah,
because they're fucking over.
And it's cool too because they didn't change.
Nope.
Like they're still the same FTR that they were when they were in NXT and they were the Revival, right? Talking all this shit, talking about they're doing this for their family. And it's cool that it just organically got over and people are cheering for them. Dax is cutting incredible promos on his social media. If you guys don't follow him, you need to follow him because you're missing these great promos that he's putting out there. And it's just a good time. But Kyle, what'd you think of the match?
It was excellent. I know a lot of people, like people in their chat now, I seen online were like, "Oh, Dax should have won." I'm like, well, not necessarily. FTR is always better when they're a team, not when they're doing single stuff. People want to see them tag team. They don't want to see Dax run. I know because it's the Owen and everything, right? And it kind of would have made a little bit of sense him moving on, maybe even going all the way to the finals just to honor Owen Hart. But I'm fine with this happening if, and only if, I will retract this statement and come back to it. I'm only fine with this only if they have plans for FTR at the pay-per-view. If they're not on the pay-per-view, then this was a big, and I think Dax should have gone all the way to the finals. It's only fair, right? Like why wouldn't he not go to the finals if he wasn't going to be on the pay-per-view with Cash in a tag team match?
Which it seems like with the Dynamite that aired, right? It seems like they're going another triple threat route with Jurassic Express versus Swerve and Keith Lee versus...
Swerve and Keith Lee might be my new fucking favorite tag team, though. I fucking love Swerve.
Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs, right? And it's like... Swerve. A little side note. Swerve Strickland did a fantastic interview with Tony Khan. The only downside, it's only available on YouTube. It's not available anywhere you get a podcast, so it's a little tough to listen to. But if you have an hour to kind of sit and watch the video, it's an incredible interview. And they asked Tony Khan some hard-hitting questions. And to Tony Khan's credit, he answers everything. He doesn't shy away from nothing. He talks about WWE. He talks about all this stuff. So, and Swerve is, between that interview and the interview he did with Jericho, Swerve is going to be a major star in this company.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe they're going that route with him and Keith Lee. I hope not. I would rather FTR wins the tag titles straight up. I want it to be on an actual tag team. And unless they're doing this bigger story like they did with Hangman and Omega when they won the belts.
Well, it's always cool sometimes to mix it up. Like, you got to remember, like, back in
but
WWF.
you have a lot of tag teams on your roster that haven't won the belts yet, and they're starting to leave because of it.
They're going to leave regardless. There's teams that are going to leave. But, like, I'm not saying that you have to give this, but it'd be cool to see that happen. Like how Kenny and Adam Page weren't like a legit tag team, but they won the belts. Like, I like when that happens sometimes because it usually leads to a story with a person turning on someone, and it just elevates the face even more. So say Keith Lee turned into this menacing heel and attacks Swerve. Well, Swerve then becomes this fan favorite that he already is, gets that big push. So it is cool if they did that. Do I think they're going to? No. Because I think you have PMP, you have FTR, and I honestly think PMP should be the next champions. I really do. Because if not,
they're mixed up in all this craziness, though.
Well, because it's been like fucking 7 months of Jericho. Yeah, like it's crazy. It's like it's this week we finally got something that made us like, hey, look, at least something cool's happening.
With the BCC.
But like, yeah,
But before we get into all that, let's
feel the same way. I want to talk about Dax real quick.
Okay, that's what I want to go back to.
Because I feel the same way, where Adam Cole was the right pick, but Dax is who I wanted to win. So there's a difference between who you want to win and the right decision. Adam Cole is arguably one of the best wrestlers on the planet. Now, Dax has impressed a lot of people and showed that he can be a phenomenal single star, but that's not what he wants to do. He wants to be in a tag team. They want to be the greatest of all time, which I think they already are.
They told you that in an interview with us.
Yes. Not to honk my own horn. But what you're going to see is...
say toot toot. You had to go...
Look.
The horn's broken. Damn
it. Yeah. So I think what you're going to see is Adam Cole when it matters when you get pinned and you're like, so when Adam Cole is in the finals and he gets pinned or he gets beat by whoever, that's going to be that moment that you're like, oh my God, that fucking dude just beat Adam Cole.
Yep.
Like, I really feel like that's an important part of the story. And my favorite thing is this week we got Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. 2 weeks ago, we got Owen and Bret.
Yep.
I love the masturbatory Bret Hart segments. They're my favorite segments.
And it's great. It's a lot of fun, man. It's cool to see that they're kind of showing, even with, it's not just a name. They're not just saying, this is the Owen Hart Tournament. Cool. Like, they're doing things to kind of honor not only Owen, but the Hart family so far, at least in the qualifier and now this first round matchup. So I hope a lot of the other matches kind of, take influence from Owen Hart and kind of do some things. I mean, the Darby and Jeff Hardy match, that we'll talk about next. That out of nothing, Owen, right? But it was still a lot of fun. But any final thoughts, Kyle?
If so, I know like the tag team titles are kind of like tied up right now because it looks like they're teasing the 3-way at Double or Nothing.
Yep.
Then have FTR defend the Ring of Honor belts at the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're holding.
Yeah,
on
but
to
there's way
2
too many
right
matches so far. I mean, unless they do it on the buy-in.
They could have another buy-in match, I guess, but like they're too good right now not to be on that pay-per-view. You have the hottest team out of every team that they got, including the BCC.
Mm-hmm.
The FTR's their hottest team right now. And for them not to be in the pay-per-view, they're going to get a lot of backlash if they're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that triple threat match would be really fun. But again, we can talk about it for a minute or two. Like, what does it do for the Jungle Express?
Jurassic
Express. Jungle, yeah. What does it do for the Jurassic Express? What does it do? It's
Nothing.
not a feud. It's
but
not
I honestly
a feud.
think the way that they
Christian's
going to
turn. Yeah.
I
So
think,
that'll
but
be
that's
the
why
buy-in.
it
That match will
scares
be shooting
me.
in the buy-in.
It scares me because when Jurassic Express lose those titles, I want it to mean something. I don't want it to just be
title
like
reign hasn't meant shit.
nothing. So that's why I wish they would be in a feud with FTR so they can lose to FTR. And the whole story is that like they're still not there yet. Like
You know
they're
what
a great
I felt?
team.
I feel that it was their excuse to put a title on Jungle Boy because Sammy Guevara has won like 3 TNT championships. MJF's main eventing pay-per-views. Darby got Punk. He was a TNT champion. And there's Jungle Boy, who's supposed to be this pillar, who's supposed to be this big deal. So they give him the tag championships. And then they go, okay, at least you have a belt around your waist. No, give us a feud. Make it meaningful. This has been for a team for a company that has the best tag team division in the world. There's no emphasis on them titles and hasn't been since the Bucks dropped them.
Yeah, I agree. And no, Wade, I don't think they should have lost to Red Dragon either. I think they need to lose to a team that is established. And Red Dragon are established around the world. They were established in NXT, but they weren't established enough at the point when they had the match against Jurassic Express to win. I don't know.
It would make
maybe
sense if Cole was going for the world title. If Cole was in the world title picture, them having the tag belts would have made sense because then it would have been like, we're just trying to scoop up all the titles.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm like Ant said, I'm sure the match is going to be phenomenal. I'm a little worried that it's going to get passed to Starks and Hobbs for no reason. Maybe for the same reason they put it on Jungle Boy. Like, hey, Ricky Starks, we're hearing you want to leave. Here's a real title, not the FTW title.
I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I don't care about Ricky Starks having a title. I would be more excited for Powerhouse Hobbs, personally.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I think Hobbs is the better of the duo. I think Ricky Starks has the look and talk and all, but I think you have gold in Powerhouse Hobbs. You really do. Mm-hmm. And you need to tap in that potential. But again, this has been a feud, but when have you sat back and been like, man, I can't wait for that match? You haven't. You haven't with Jurassic Express.
For months, I haven't been like, I'm excited what they're doing. It's always like, oh, they're doing it. Like, I know the match is going to be good, but okay, Wade's saying the Acclaimed. I think, honestly, Wade, I think maybe the plans were the Acclaimed, and the fact that Bowens got hurt kind of threw everything for a loop because Bowens hurt his knee again, which sucks because they have so much momentum.
You gotta look at P&P eventually. Like after this Jericho shit, you have to. Like you're doing your fans a displeasure if you don't look at it. Like this is what people want.
I honestly do not think, and Kyle, let me know if you agree with me. I don't think we're getting past this Jericho stuff until there's another Blood and Guts. So fucking strap yourself in.
That's what they set up last night, right?
Basically, because you're adding the BCC.
Are we doing
to
Blood
the
and
feud.
Guts, or are we going to do a Stadium Stampede and they're going to?
I think it's a Blood and Guts.
What if they film something in Vegas?
No, it won't be a Double or Nothing. You think?
Maybe. What if they went and filmed something in Reliant Stadium? I don't think anyone's using that.
Maybe,
NFL's not being used. What if they went and filled a Stadium Stampede in Reliant Stadium?
I could see that. That'd be cool. I mean, it gets BCC on the show, right?
Yeah.
Insider Kimmy saying Blood and Guts. I mean,
or they start in the parking lot and they work their way in the arena and the match ends in the ring.
That'd be cool. Kind of like Double or Nothing last year.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I don't think we're getting Blood and Guts at the pay-per-view. and this is where this feud is heading to. So
What if we get blood and guts at Grand Slam? Which, if you guys don't know, Tony Khan announced.
did you want this feud to last all summer?
Absolutely not.
So then how are you going to do that?
I don't know.
The coolest thing would be is if they did it like after the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like just on a main event.
So they're not back in Jacksonville till like the beginning of July, apparently.
Main event, regular Dynamite. You know what I mean? Just okay, blood and guts, and then it frees all these guys up for the pay-per-view. I guess like I don't even think they're gonna be on the pay-per-view unless they do it. It's blood and guts now.
It's gonna be a stadium stampede. I'm guaranteeing.
So Fangy's saying I think the trios title happens soon. I don't. I think the trios titles do not happen until Kenny comes back.
TK literally said he's waiting for Kenny to come back. It's confirmed.
Bro, they can't even focus on fucking 2 people. You want them to focus on 3?
Yeah.
Well, it's confirmed. He said that he's waiting until Kenny to come back. So
but
we know they're made. They are made.
Book the tag division better, then we'll talk about the trios.
But let's talk about the match that everyone's talking about for good and bad reasons, for smart and dumb reasons. So we get Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy in the main event in a no-holds-barred match in the first round of the Owen Hart Foundation. And let me just say my piece. I don't care what these guys did in that match. If you sat back and saw this match graphic come up and then watched Dynamite and saw that it was a no-holds-barred match and didn't think that these 2 guys were going to basically try to kill themselves during this match, I don't know. You shouldn't be watching wrestling anymore because you're dumb.
How are you shocked?
Seriously. How are you shocked? Like, yes, that Darby spot was one of the craziest spot I've ever seen, and I really hope that Darby's okay. And Jeff Hardy has no business doing that swanton to the outside on the steps like he did. But this is the final run of Jeff Hardy's career. So he's going to go nuts. This is a dream match that everybody had ever since Darby Allin was shown to the world.
Jeff Hardy was Darby's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. Like Darby Allin did an interview last week where he was like fanboying about everything that he wants to do in this match. You knew these guys were going to go ballistic during this match. Now, as far as the match, it was fun. It wasn't the best match in the world, but it was never going to be. It was going to be a crazy spot fest. And the one thing I'm going to keep bringing up is that absolutely incredible, insane spot. Darby jumps from the middle of from inside the ring on a 24-foot ladder, 12-foot ladder.
That was a big ladder. Like that ladder
was a huge ladder.
That was bigger than most ladders.
Not through tables, not through a crazy ladder, whatever thing, right? But through chairs, where it's basically Jeff is going to stop a little bit of his momentum, but it's really just Darby going from that height through chairs like a madman. And I don't know how he didn't puncture a lung or just completely fuck himself up. But Kyle, what'd you think of that match?
I cringed. Like it was just, and I saw I was watching like the footage, like camera footage from people in the crowd. And I'm like, oh my God, like you cringe when you see him land, like not flat on the chairs. He landed literally on the edges, the top edges of the chairs, like back first. And man, oh man, it's a heavy spot. But I mean, we can't be surprised. We know what Darby Allin's about. When he started his career here in AEW, what were all his vignettes? Were him doing stupid shit, skateboarding off giant ramps and falling down giant ramps, ghost riding cars into each other. Like this man, that's what he did for a living before AEW. So to him, this is just another one of those stunts where he's like, yeah, I can do it. They probably would have told him to jump off the arena top and did that. He'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. Like that's just Darby Allin.
He's like if wrestling. I mean, I know Jackass was just on wrestling, but it's like the wrestling version of Jackass, right? Like the dude does stupid shit all the time, and you're like, you cringe. It's cool. I mean, I'm not one to tell people what they should do and what they shouldn't do, but I think Darby really has to change his style, or you're only going to get 2 years, and that pillar is going to be fucking broken. Yeah, and you're going to have to replace it. Right?
It's Darby's style. It's how he wants to wrestle. That's how it is. It's really just sit back and enjoy it. Really, just like clench your teeth because the stuff that he does during these matches is unbelievable.
What scares me is like I know that we all did stupid shit growing up. Like we all watched Jeff Hardy and wanted to jump off a ladder, right? Like every time you're on a ladder as a kid, you're like, I got a ladder match. Like if people try this shit, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like he's like a stunt man, is what he is.
Yeah.
Like he's a stunt man that wrestles because Nobody I know has ever taken a bump like that and got up. Like, that's insane. That was insane.
It's incredible. It's literally incredible what he can do and still I don't know if any other wrestler could have done what he did last night and still be able to walk.
He's this generation's Mick Foley, not in wrestling style, but he's just in craziness,
insanity. Just
yes,
no fear, bro. Like I will do literally anything you need me to do.
But you think about Darby Allin matches, 60% of his match is literally him doing crazy shit. 40% is the wrestling game. So that's just what he does. So
it's either him doing crazy shit or crazy shit happening to him.
I mean, I was still entertained watching that match. I thought it was crazy. Well done. You know, those two that want to have a dream match like that. Sure. Why not? They're all about, and I'm sure a lot of Jeff Hardy and Darby fans got their fix in, right? That was probably something they've always wanted to see, and it lived up to it for them. Now, I saw a lot of people counter-arguing. I don't know what your guys' take is on it. They're saying that they weren't sure if that should have been a Owen Hart tournament match.
Yeah, especially with Martha in the building. Yeah. But, I mean...
Can I speak of something real quick? Owen Hart jumped off shit. Like, not like that, but like he go off the top rope. He was a risk taker.
Yeah.
What they do inside the ring it's not like they had Sting propel down from the rafters. Like, that's a direct spit in the face.
Yeah.
They had a wrestling match. That's the style it was. That style's existed for years. Owen Hart was like one of the first high flyers really to like break ground in WWF. Right. And I mean, he wasn't like a high flyer like these guys or Dante Martin, but he elevated that game, right? He inspired people like Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin to be that size and that fast, but that agile. So I didn't take it as like a slap in the face, right? I took it as like they were just having a wrestling match. The people are like, oh, they're jumping off stuff. And it's like, okay.
You know what's funny, Ed? Those same people didn't say shit when Dante Martin and Ray Phoenix were qualifying for the tournament. They're like, this is great.
Well, they're like, they're gonna kill each other. They're gonna take dangerous spots in front of like. Here's the thing: the spot that Owen did wasn't supposed to be dangerous. Sting did it for fucking 52 weeks. You know what I mean? In a row. Like, it was a tragedy, and WWE fucked up like big time. Like, the worst fuck up they've ever will have, right? And. It had nothing to do with the in-ring match. So that those people are just trying to put a negative spin on AEW any way that they can, right? It wasn't like they had Sting come down from the rafters. There was nothing to do with the rafters. Nobody came down. Nobody propelled. You know what I mean? Like, they had a wrestling match. It was a no-holds-barred match. Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin have been jumping off shit for years. They're going to jump off shit.
Especially when it's a dream match, right? It's a dream match. It's the first time they're meeting. You know it's going to get crazy.
Yeah, like I said, I had no problem with it. I was completely entertained. That's fine with me. Darby moves on. They even made the right decision in the end. Perfect. I was good with it. What a way to end Dynamite. But no, some people just love when people piss in their cornflakes and they have to come on Twitter and comment about it. So
try to ruin everybody else.
Croutons.
Well, I love the people that don't watch, but they comment. Like,
the casuals. Fuck the casuals.
Do I ever tweet? That's like me tweeting about UFC or WWE. Like, I don't watch it. I don't tweet about the Kardashians because I don't fucking watch it. So what are you doing tweeting about the show that you don't watch? Doesn't make sense.
Nope. Yeah, stop reviewing wrestling through clips on Twitter, please.
Yeah, just
ridiculous.
Just let's follow the herd. People are mad about this. Let me tweet. I'm mad. I stand with you. It's your own fucking opinion.
Exactly. Fuck the casuals. Something that happened that got a lot of people excited. A lot of the diehard AEW fans excited. We saw Hookhausen become a reality, right? We get the debut of Danhausen, and
fastest debut.
The funniest part. So obviously, as we said before, we watch this as a team, right? And the funny thing is, everyone's feeds are always all over the place. Me and Jackie are usually the same because we're in the tri-state area and we're both watching on YouTube TV. So our feeds are exactly the same. Then we have like Ant, Kyle, Jamie, right? And their feeds are all over the place. Sometimes late, sometimes earlier. And Ant was ahead. And I'm like, man, I wonder how good this match is going to be. And Ant's like, do you? Do you? And then literally, like, because I was like 10 seconds behind everybody. So it was like, then you see, you're like, oh, it's over already.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it worked out because then we get Hook coming out and helping Danhausen. They shake hands, and then the match gets announced. Hookhausen versus Mark Sterling and Tony Nese. For people who don't know, Mark Sterling is an indie wrestler for Creative Pro, right? So he is an actual wrestler. This isn't like some crazy
power
name
bomb.
that just yeah. So like he can actually go. And I'm sure the other three guys are going to carry the match anyway, so it'll be fine. But Kyle, I'll start with you. What do you think about all this stuff?
Oh, amazing. That was so awesome. If you couldn't have had fun in that moment, then you shouldn't be watching, period. There you go. It was just so much fun. I honestly do think that Danhausen is not maybe completely 100%. Something tells me, because Smart Mark doesn't wrestle a lot either. Like I know he's an indie wrestler, but he's not he's not in ring performing every week, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it kind of seems to me like both Danhausen and Smart Mark are gonna have more in ring
like
jokey entertainment wrestling, as opposed to like Hook and Tony Nese going at it and banging heads, right? So I think that's probably why the match was done the way it was. That's my assumption. And regardless, I mean, at least if he's not completely 100%, but he's okay to get into the ring to do spots like this, then maybe that's okay. I'm fine with it. But yeah, if we finally, I mean, the Hookhausen shirt, whenever it does come out,
it's going to be
it's
crazy.
It's going to sell like hotcakes.
And that's the thing too, for anybody who might be looking at this, kind of the way they look at Orange Cassidy, like why are they putting this guy on the card, right? Like Danhausen hasn't even had a match, and he's going to be on the buy-in, which as we've seen in this company, the buy-in matches are just as important as the pay-per-view matches, because that's what's selling the pay-per-view. And it's not a pre-show where it's like, we don't care about these matches. We saw the last buy-in for Revolution. We saw that incredible House of Black versus Death Triangle match, right? Well, not all of Death Triangle, but you know what I mean, right? So it's like there are some excellent matches on there. And you got to understand that even though, yes, Danhausen hasn't had any real matches, he's a top seller on Pro Wrestling Tees. Like, he has a huge fan base. He has his own vlog on YouTube that gets numbers. He sells a ton of merch. He's very popular. And remember, when he debuted in that Adam Cole Orange Cassidy match, he got a massive pop. So it's like, it's only right that Tony Khan puts him and Hook on a pay-per-view, because they're both extremely popular. So it is just what it is. But any thoughts on this?
It was cool. It's definitely something that I thought they'd have a match first.
You're Hook's number one fan, so I
know. I've been on that bandwagon before anyone though.
Yeah, it's true.
You were. I was like, thought that it was going to lead to a match. I thought Hook was going to slam him at first. You know what I mean? Like come out and be like, no, like the shit ain't over. But the handshake, the crowd's reaction just sells you on it. And like, I'm excited because I've seen Danhausen's indie stuff and I like his style. You know, usually I'm not like the jokey wrestler kind of guy, but I do like his style better because in the ring he gets a little bit more aggressive. So I'm excited for people to see that. And I was really excited to see it. And it felt like it was stripped away. And I think that was done on purpose, obviously, to make you want to see Danhausen wrestle. So now we get Hook and Danhausen in a tag match. Maybe the leg's not healed completely, and that's why they're doing this. But I'm super hyped for it. It's going to be a really fun tag team. Maybe they can make their way up the rankings eventually. But right now, I just want to enjoy them beating people. And then, you know, I feel
time. They're the fun segment every week.
Yeah, and it will be fun, but you need to keep building Hook up. And this is a great way to. So when Hook goes
Hook's
again solo, like, Hook can just be push him to the moon.
Like, he gets over with the crowd just as much as Wardlow. He's great in ring just as much as Wardlow. They have a second gem in Hook. So, right, like, you build your company around Wardlow and Hook. Like, one of those two, like, even both those two guys, including with everyone else. Like, those two guys you keep because they're it, man. You see, like, it was pointed out on Twitter. I saw someone tweeted out that there was, like, a shot. I think it was on Raw or something. Some guy front row was wearing a Hook shirt at a Darby event.
Yep.
So, like,
everyone loves Hook.
It's crazy if you kind of take a step back and think about this, right? If MJF ends up staying, which I'm sure he will, you have MJF, you have Hook, you have Wardlow, you have Hangman, you have Daniel Garcia, Willa Yuta, Dante Martin, And that's just the men's division. That's not counting all the incredibly talented women you
You
have.
have
You
Will
also have
Hobbs, you have Keith
Will
Lee, you have
Hobbs,
Swerve.
Keith Lee,
Well,
Swerve.
Swerve's what? Swerve's my
Jungle
age,
Boy.
so it's like 33 or 34.
But still, they're young.
Yeah.
Adam Cole is
that's
still
what I'm
super
saying.
young. You have like another 10 years out of mostly everybody in this company.
I still consider
If
Brian
everybody's-
in his prime. Brian Danielson is in his prime right now.
Well,
you
he
have a lot of
also got
younger
3 or 4
talent.
years off too,
Yeah.
right?
You have younger talent in your company, and it's cool that like obviously they're not gonna put Hook in like a main feud right now or for a belt right now, right? There's too many people above him as far as being ready for that. So it's like put him in this fun tag team. We'll have a good time. Guess who else got put in a fun tag team like this? Brian Danielson, right? And you got to do the stuff with him and Kane, and everybody loved it.
Yep.
They had fun, and then eventually, when it was time, they broke them up, and he got his singles run. So maybe they do the same thing with Hook here. I would love to see it. I'd be very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
But speaking of people's boys, so we saw CM Punk, Ant's boy, versus John Silver, Johnny Hungy, and a match that the fans were super into. Punk came out mega heel with an Islanders jersey. Kyle, explain that reference for people.
Okay, so
if you didn't get the reference.
If no one understood the reference here, because I actually saw a few people on Twitter going, "Who?
Who?
Yeah, who?
Who?
But so Dynamite was in Long Island. He was wearing obviously an Islanders jersey. The name in the back said Tavares. There's a C in the front for captain. So John Tavares used to play for the New York Islanders back in 2015, I believe it was. Right before the season ended, the media asked him, because he didn't get traded at the deadline because this was last year of his contract. They asked him, like, do you plan on staying in Long Island? He told the media at that time, yes, as far as right now, I'm planning on staying in Long Island. Well,
And this was like a beloved guy for the franchise.
Like that was their captain. That was their franchise player. So during the summer, the negotiations fell through with the Islanders, and he ended up going and signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now he's their current captain. So every time that Toronto goes and plays in Long Island, they boo the living shit like he's like just the piece of shit of the earth every time he steps into New York. So that was
that was to piss the crowd off. Yeah.
So that's twice now that they've gone to that arena, and CM Punk's trolled the shit out of the crowd, which is fantastic.
Because remember, CM Punk, huge hockey fan, huge Chicago Blackhawks fan, and he always messes with the Islanders. It's like one of the funny things he does. So just another troll. And it's good to kind of get these these stories outside of
wrestling. He got Silver
remember,
over that way, right? Like he got the crowd
he
that
got
hate
Silver
him
super over.
Yeah.
And Silver from Long Island. So it all worked out. It absolutely all worked out. But Ann, what did you think of that matchup?
I liked it. I think that Punk playing the good guy, right? Because he's in an Islanders jersey, and then as soon as he turns, everyone goes, "Oh fuck, it's Tavares!"
He's
right?
Like, no, you guys don't like him, no.
Yeah.
The Johnny Hungy's great. It's the hometown guy. It's one of Hangman's boys. It makes sense. I like that this week they kind of turned it because they knew how the crowd would react. So last week we're like, we can't wait to see what happens with Hangman. He was acting kind of heelish, and then this week it's like, well, Punk's playing heel now. Yep. So it's bouncing off each other. I think they're going to steal the show. I think Punk's winning the title. I really fucking think.
I don't think so.
I think Punk's winning the title.
I love it. It's a straight up aggressive like feud.
Yeah.
Like they're both just wanting to kick the shit out of each other.
Beat the shit out of it.
And Punk won with Hangman's move.
So we know what Hangman's going to win with next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So Hangman's going to beat Takeshita, or I can't say his damn name, Takeshita, with the GTS next week.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun too because it's a face versus face matchup, like on paper, but the competitiveness of both guys are going to push them into territory where there's like shades of gray, where they're doing heelish stuff, right? Ant said last week it was Hangman. This week it's Punk. So it makes an interesting story. I personally think Hangman's going to win. I think they're really cementing his legacy as like, this is the title run in the company. Look at the people that he's beaten. And I know with all the contract stuff, and I think MJF is the next world champion. I think Tony Khan has this stuff planned out even before Punk got there. So, I mean, maybe, yes, I wouldn't be mad if Punk won. Let's be honest. I think it would be really cool. It would be a huge moment. But we've said this on the show. We want Punk to win in Chicago, not only because selfishly we will be there, but because it would be cool if the first championship Punk wins after 10 years is in his hometown so the crowd can erupt. But what do you think, Kyle?
It can go either way. They can do that. They can have him walk into Chicago as champion, but then if you want MJF to be champion, he wins it against Punk in Chicago. Which
There has to be a short title reign sometime. Has to be.
But at this moment, we don't know that it's going to be in All Out's going to be in Chicago, and we'll have more news about that on K2 K Squared. I think we're calling it K Squared Observer tonight. So we'll talk about that because TK was interviewed by basically the Canadian ESPN, and he had a lot to say about All Out. So we'll get into that later tonight. But,
on TSN.
I still don't know who is going to win. I don't really have a decision right now. I know in 2 weeks when we have our 50th anniversary, we're going to do predictions as well. I'll probably have my answer then.
I'm going with Hangman.
I can't decide.
Which I cannot believe. 3 years ago, Ant, when we had that conversation, and we were like, and I was like, listen, I heard Hangman's interview on Busted Open, and he ain't it. Let me tell you something, bro. Jacob Fatu, who was an MLW at the time, I want this guy to be world champion before I want to be Hangman. I shit all over Hangman because of he didn't carry himself like a champion. But between Kerry and seeing what he did in the ring, shout out to Kerry, I love Hangman, and I want this guy to be champion for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, who does he lose it to then? You think he loses it to MJF?
Yep. I think he loses it over the summer, before All Out.
Before?
Well, actually, no, at All Out. I think he loses at All Out, and Punk does something else in Chicago. Maybe Punk versus Kenta, Punk versus Danielson.
We don't know it's in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, true. That's right. That is true. That's very true.
And Forbidden Door, I mean, it's I don't know what they're doing at Forbidden Door. Like, I don't know. I do feel like Double or Nothing is going to be the first step into whatever something big is going to be at Forbidden Door. Because it'll be like, it'll be almost exactly a month before Forbidden Door. They're going to plant the seed. So whether it's, I fantasy book like Kenny coming out and Okada coming out and then having to stare down and booking for Forbidden Door, I think something's going to happen at All Out somewhere, or a few storylines are going to start at All Out for.
Let me tell you something. If Forbidden Door ends with Kenny and Okada face to face, I think separately all of us are going to book Airbnbs just around the country. One in Canada, one in California, one in Chicago.
Wherever it could be, we will be there.
Yeah, we will be there no matter what we got to do. And listen, I'm getting text right now. Carrie is telling me, so you know it's true, right? Head booker Carrie. Hangman and MJF have been a story since 2019, and people don't realize that.
No, it has.
Right?
I remember. Yeah.
There's a long story between those two, so I definitely think that Hangman's going to retain versus Punk. But either way, we'll be happy.
CM Punk's winning the fucking title.
And you are the CM Punk guy, so if it would be very cool to see.
Stop arguing with me, everybody. Yeah. Jesus.
No, Jeff Hardy's going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase at the end, and he's going to win the title.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah. Anything else happen on Rampage? Worth talking
tonight?
about?
Well, I mean,
no. I mean on Dynamite. Sorry.
Okay.
Anything happen on Dynamite else? I think that was it, right?
No, that's pretty good.
Not that I remember. If someone in the chat wants.
Well, we get the JAS stuff and the BCC come out.
Who cares?
But we kind of mentioned it already, but no one cares about that. So now on the Rampage.
Sorry, everyone does care.
I thought it was a great show. Now we can start with Ruby and Riho. We can kind of touch on it quickly. I thought it was a great match. I don't understand why the crowd could give a fuck. I hate that. Like, show these women some love. Like, especially Ruby, people complain that she's never on TV. Now she's on TV and you're not even cheering for during the match, like for either her or her opponent, which sucks. No, I'm happy Ruby won, and it's no shade against Riho, even though I tend to be the person who always shits on Riho. But it's like, I want Ruby to be used.
Now, do you think?
So I wanted her to win.
Do you think it's maybe?
She looks sloppy again.
Because I know there's some places where they go when they do film Rampage shoot, the crowd's still really hot. But I don't know if it's the same for every city they go to, that they're gonna have that same, like the crowd's gonna have that.
It's
same
tough,
energy.
man. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's like 11:30 by the time these people come out, and they do the tapings before.
Yeah.
The dark and the elevation tapings before, so people are sitting there from like 6:30 and it's 11:30. Like, you're tired, bro. Like, you want to go home, you know?
That's what I mean. They need to do something where. I know that
I almost wish Dark was
though. Rampage. Yeah.
I almost wish that if they're going to tape it, you tape it independently, where it's like it's its own show, and it's just that's what Rampage is. Which I know you can't do that because it's TV and you want to up the value and you want it to be just as big as anything else. But I mean, we'll see. I know that we'll see what's going to happen with Rampage because we know the ratings are slipping because of the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs kind of making it go all over the place time
I
wise.
think that's going to be every year. Like are they content with it being this way every year? Because the NHL and NBA are not going to go away next year. They're going to be right back here, and they're going to have the same issues. It's like,
they're probably all going to go to TBS.
Do you continue to do this?
Fuck it, yeah. Just go against it. It's like you're like.
Well, I think a lot of things are going to change within the next year because of the Discovery Warner Brothers thing. And I know we keep seeing reports from SRS that AEW is going to be a big deal when it comes to the upfronts for the Warner Media upfronts, and with the reality shows and a trailer just dropped either today or yesterday of AEW stars on Carpool Karaoke on Apple Plus.
I really
TV.
want to watch that actually.
Me too. It's only on Apple Plus TV though, which
I'll subscribe. I'll take the 7-day trial and I'll just binge it.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like they're gonna start to really push them and really get them in the mainstream. Like Kyle said when we were watching Rampage, and we can kind of transition over to this next. Like Jade Cargill, her tweets get in a ton of impressions. Like so many people are liking it, retweeting it, commenting on it, viewing her stuff. Like she's an absolute megastar. So it's like I hope that she's being seen more. I mean, she's a TBS champion, and she barely defends her title because
she's usually on Rampage, which is on TNT.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like hopefully this changes going forward. But I don't know. I'm excited for it. But Ant, what do you think about all this stuff?
I love Jay Cargo. I love Jay Cargo.
Yeah,
she's a star.
Fantastic.
100%.
Would you like to see would you watch a reality show with her?
No. Listen, if Nikki Bella had a reality show and I didn't watch it,
you're not watching for anybody.
I'm not watching for anybody. No, I don't watch reality shows really.
Rampage needs to be different.
I like the idea of like a backstage thing. I like the idea of like I love like the WWE 24s that they did. You know what I mean? I thought they were always cool, but like I don't want it to be like roads to the top kind of reality. I don't want that shit. Like if you're going to make it a wrestling show, make it a real wrestling show. Don't fucking, like they made Total Divas look like their segments mattered so much. And you're like, they had a fucking 1.5 minute match. Like, what are we fucking, you know what I mean?
Super scripted. But one thing I did forget.
I don't want more. If you're going to put more stuff on, make Rampage a second hour and move it. Stop with the fuck. Like, stop other shit. Like, it's wrestling. Keep it wrestling. That's just how I feel.
What do you think, Kyle?
It's all. I understand. Like I don't want it all reality too, but I do also understand like this. Like they need to do something to start getting more money in, so that they can feed these contracts to keep certain stars, aka MJF and other people that eventually will ask for more money. So if they need more money for a budget, they need to do things like this for it to happen. My small question is like I think they need to do something with Rampage because I'm going to tie back to what we were just talking about. They can't go every year where they move it all over the place at different times. Sometimes they move it to like Saturday or sometime, you know what I mean? Like they can't be doing that every year. It just kind of ruins it for me. I still don't think an hour is enough. It's not enough. They need to do 2 hours. Just do it. They have two 2-hour shows a week. They can fill it. With the roster they have, they can fill both shows perfectly. Mm-hmm. And there'll still be room for people not to be on every week, and we'll be on dark.
Yep.
Like they have enough people, and there's enough storylines. Like they can do 2 shows with 2 hours.
Move it to Thursdays.
Go against SmackDown. Who gives a crap at this point? Do 7 to 9. Who cares?
Yeah.
People are gonna watch. They're gonna watch anyways.
Yeah. Make it reasonable. But the one thing I do want, I can't believe I forgot about this on Dynamite. We get the MJF and Wardlow contract signing.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was fucking dope.
Which was crazy because MJF played the whole thing as a huge babyface because obviously Long Island loves MJF, hometown guy, and they're booing Wardlow, which is cool. And then we get the announcement that they're gonna put Wardlow through the whatever to get this match. He's gonna win 2 separate matches. He's gonna get whipped like Cody, and he's gonna have to do the cage match against Shawn Spears. Which Kyle, how do you feel about that?
I don't know.
Just give Shawn Spears some type of offense. I'm so tired of them like not fucking giving him anything.
He is so good. Like if anyone
he's perfect for that TNT title kind of like contention.
He had a really good interview today. If anyone wants to go back and watch he was on Busted Open with Mark Henry and Dave LaGreca. he was so good on there, and he cut like a really good promo that like, and then Mark was like, man, he's like, I don't know why they don't book you in the main event. Like this is it's and or David LaGreca was like, he's like, it astonishes me that you are not booked like a main event star there because you have the total package. No, Sean Spears.
Oh, okay.
And then Sean Spears, I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure he was in character. He's like, he's like, no, you know what, Dave, like, thanks, but like, things are, he's like, I'm too much of a nice guy, but he's like, you know what, things are gonna starting to change. I'm gonna start loving the new word no backstage. Like he's like off camera. I'm gonna start using the word no, and he's like, if people don't like it, then I'm out.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
I love Sean Spears, but like, where are you going? Like WWE treated you like dog shit. Like, put your foot down, but like, don't leave AEW because at least you're being featured. You know what I mean?
Don't lose your job.
I think they just got to get out of the lackey roles, right? The like, oh, I'm MJF's dirty hand. Like, I hate that shit. Like,
give him a mic and be on his own. He's fun. He can cut promos like crazy.
The problem is he came in with that unprotected chair shot. Yeah. The fans made the assumption, right? They all turned, oh, it's so dangerous. And then this is the 10 guy. Why are they trying to make him like this?
Darby jumps off a 24-foot ladder.
Yeah, but like, look at Sean Spears and tell me he wouldn't beat somebody's ass. Like, he would. Like, so why? I didn't get the hate on him at the beginning. I think he's an excellent wrestler. I hated the Ty Dillinger gimmick. You can ask Phil. I hated it.
I loved it.
I hated it. I like what he's doing now.
And they didn't show that on TV.
It would be cool to see him break away from MJF and, maybe eventually get in a feud with MJF even down the road, right? Where it's like, I'm tired of you fucking bossing me around. Let's fight. And then you get him to be that face because MJF is so hated that
it would be be awesome if MJF has the title and like Sean Spears gets like mesmerized by the title, and
that'd be so cool. Yeah. Like anything that would just
he wouldn't win it off him, but like it gets him away from MJF.
Like here's my thing, like you haven't even mentioned anything about the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle's over. Just say it.
Yeah.
Just fucking say it. What were they going to have the Pinnacle back in the ring for the first time for the reunion? Like,
no, they're done. The Pinnacle's done.
Yeah, because Wardlow's done and FTR's doing their own thing. Like, there's no Pinnacle anymore.
But they just don't even acknowledge
Spears
stuff.
And MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think we should shout out and thank you, Jermazing, for reminding me. This is Jackie. How did I forget Wardlow? Because you're not here. That's why. The show is in shambles when you're not here. You're the heart and soul. We're all over the place.
I'm sorry I'm delayed. I
actually love the show this way. I'm not, to be honest.
I had an important work email, so that's why when you asked me about Jade, I was like, yeah, she's great.
I love the show this way. Not gonna lie. We just
but I keep forgetting stuff. I need something. I need something in front of me.
You need a rundown.
Yeah. But so the one thing I want to shout out is MJF's fake Dark Side of the Ring commercial.
Oh my God.
Tremendous. Wow. Tremendous. Like, just so amazing, right? I think this is one of the cool things that AEW needs to do more of. These are things that WWE wouldn't do because they don't have a deal with Dark Side of the Ring, right? It's not a WWE produced show, so they're not going to highlight and showcase it, especially when all the episodes are basically just shitting on WWE and old companies anyway about all these bad things that happen. So, like, if you could do something that no other wrestling company can do, I mean, Impact could do it, but I mean, the 37 people in the crowd aren't going to pop like the full arena of people that are at these AEW shows. And this is not listen, Impact is fantastic.
It's great.
For some reason, they're not booking big venues. I don't understand why.
Because it's a money thing. Like, why are we going to spend the money? If their gates are consistently low, they're just going to downgrade their
I guess,
their
but
venue.
The matches are phenomenal.
The matches are great, but are they drawing in money?
They drew me and the 6 other people.
You need to be on TV. You need to get the viewers from the TV, then you can start doing bigger arenas. But they don't want to go to TV and they can't get a TV deal.
But what did you guys think of that Dark Side of the Ring segment?
That was great.
Hilarious.
Perfectly done. I thought it was real for a sec. I thought they cut to a commercial, and I'm like, oh. Yeah.
So you know, like how my kitchen in my living room, it's an open concept. Yeah. So I was standing at the island, and I was making like a snack, and because I just got out of the shower, and I looked up, and I'm like, Dark Side of the Ring's coming back, and then I like watched. I'm like, yo, this is fucking fantastic. It reminded me of when Jericho did the like the serious interview thing.
Yeah.
With all like the serious music and shit behind it.
Yeah.
What feud was that?
I don't remember.
Where he was like trolling him though. They did like the spoof of the actual.
Was that with
like
Mox?
Road Tubing?
Was it Moxley?
Yeah, I think so. It was like a Road 2 video or something. They
Oh, it
spoofed
was
it.
Cody.
Cody.
Was it Cody during their feud?
I think so. Yes. It was fucking hilarious.
I'm sure
but
Carrie's gonna text you and tell you.
it was one of the early moments of AEW that I really fucking enjoyed, right?
Yeah.
And that felt like
Keep
that.
my
I'm like,
phone
damn.
ready.
She knows. I don't know. Maybe she'll text me. My phone's at 2%. I ain't getting no text messages.
I'll text you.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. I love the creativity. This is why I don't understand why MJF would want to leave. Like, I get the money thing, right? You're gonna make
He's not
way more
leaving.
money there, but it's like you're not gonna be. You've lost 4 matches in 3 years. Like, you're not gonna get that over there.
Leaving. There's a lot of truth is said in jest, right? But nobody talks about their contract 2 years. Tony Khan. The only thing I think the problem is, Tony Khan's using this guy as a main event talent, and he's probably not making main event money. So what you do to keep him happy is you give him more money this year, and next year you give him a contract, like a raise, and then you can discuss
What's
the future. But you got to keep him happy with that. Like, imagine, like, I've had this happen to me where I was labeled an assistant manager, the manager left, and I was running the store as an assistant manager, getting all the numbers, hitting everything they needed to do, but not getting the promotion. So maybe that's how MJF feels. It's like, I am literally one of the top guys you have. Punk's making millions. They're making millions. They're making millions. But
Work.
you think it's all work?
I think so. I think they're purposely planting information.
Well, why would you say?
And then like that, like after like the whole MJ, like his whole promo, people are they're like the rumors conveniently leaked out that that him and Tony Khan had a fight backstage because Tony Khan didn't like that he said that. Like, give me a break. They break the fourth wall every damn week. You're telling me you're telling me Tony Khan had a problem with that? That was like barely nothing.
He says it all the time too.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break, people. Y'all are falling for this crap. Come on.
I do think he
is not going over there.
I do think he wants some more money, though.
He does want more money, but he knows. Yeah. He himself knows that he can't go over there and do the shit that he's doing here.
No, fuck no.
Yeah. You don't have that freedom there. And I was saying this to Jackie
and he'll
the
be
other
just
day.
called Maxwell. That'll be it.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go there. You're one of two scenarios. You're going to either be The Miz, which you may win a world title, but it won't mean anything, or you're going to be Roddy Piper and never win a world title.
Yep.
So that's the two people you're going to be. And they do not push heels the way that they push baby faces over there. So you're fucked.
Yeah, you're not Roman Reigns, so sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, another great week of Dynamite and Rampage. A fantastic Dynamite coming up next week, and I'm sure another great Rampage coming up this week. Elevation. During Rampage, they kind of announced that it's going to be the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys in a match going against someone else on Elevation. That seems to be a lot of fun. Yeah, which I think is a lot of fun.
I don't know where I've seen this segment. Was it on Dark Elevation? I've seen a segment where like they got the Acclaim a gift and it was a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
And like they're going to scissor, and then I think was it like Billy Gunn tried the scissor, and like whoa.
Yeah. What are you doing? I don't know. It looks like a lot of fun. So make sure you guys watch as much as possible. Like I said, follow Dax on social media. You're missing out on these incredible promos that he's giving away for free. Just on his social media page. But yeah, so thank you guys for listening. If you want to follow us, it's twitch.tv/Elite POV. Remember, next week there won't be a show. And also, there won't be a Good Morning Elite this week because, of course, we did the show late on Friday. And we already talked about Rampage.
Yeah.
So a nice little break for us while everybody's getting super busy. We're available anywhere you guys listen to your podcast. Patreon.com/Elite POV, where after this right now we get the K Squared Observer with Kyle and Insider Kimmy talking about all the rumors and stuff. YouTube.com/Elite POV. ElitePOVmerch.com. Make sure you get those prize shirts. All the proceeds going to Nate's Surgery Fund, or go to the GoFundMe pages on Jackie's Twitter or my Twitter @PhillyElite, so you guys can kind of see that for you. And tell everybody what you guys got going on with the EFED.
Yeah, this weekend we have Ambition. We just got off the road to Grand Slam. Grand Slam was a major hit. Thank you guys so much. It was really fun doing it. This week we have Ambition Sunday at 7 p.m. Then we have Breakout on Monday at 7. Actually, Ambition's at 6. I'm sorry, and then Breakouts at 7 on Monday. It's going amazing, guys. If anyone in this community wants to see what it's like, please stop by. We have people coming in and having the time of their lives with promos, and I've been editing stuff for like 7 hours this week in the middle of getting fucking crazy work emails like I just got during the show, hence why I was like not paying attention for like 10 minutes. But yeah, there's a big fuck up. So great. I'll have to call when I'm done. But like just come hang out. The AWF thing is the most creative most creative outlet I think we've ever had, right? And Kyle and I are discussing stuff, and there's a lot of twists and turns and surprises coming, which is cool. I mean, we have RSG in his first Eagle FC MMA fight this weekend. We will have highlights. We'll have a very special guest introducing that fight. We have Kid Million celebration with more special guests. It's going to be crazy. Come Sunday night, come have fun. Go buy some AWF merchandise. I think it's hilarious that people love it so much because it is the most fun. We love getting text messages saying how we help people and it's like a great escape and all that. And everybody wants to be a wrestler, right? That's all you want to do when you grow up. Well, for some people like me who couldn't be a wrestler, this is my way to be a wrestler or be a commentator.
Without working out.
Come hang out. Yeah, exactly.
You get to be a pro wrestler without working out, guys. You cut your own promos.
Even better. So Kyle, let them know what you got going on with Breakout.
Same thing. Breakout Monday. It'll be Monday. Might be 7:30 because I just realized I do have a chiropractic appointment at 6 something. I don't know. I gotta look at my calendar. Thank God my fiance keeps her calendar in check because I'm bad at organizing. Yeah, I need to maybe move Evolution on Tuesday. Sorry, folks, if you guys expect it to be on Tuesday. Most likely it will be on Wednesday. But
what it's supposed to be.
Where it's supposed to be. Evolution is a great show that it gets flopped from Ambition to Breakout every week. Features a couple more shows and more storylines. We had Ambition announce we call our Money to Bank Path to Gold. So we had Ambition announce their people. We're going to have all of the Breakout people this week to be announced as well. Yeah, it's so much fun that me and Ant do it, and we really do appreciate everyone that's put the support into it because it's without you guys, me and Ant we're not doing this, right? So, and same thing with Elite POV. You guys come and listen to the show. You guys download the show. You guys watch it live. Without you guys, we're not doing it, right? We do it.
Without Jackie, there's no show, as you could tell this week.
Yeah,
because we were all over the place. All of us are scattered brain. We're like, "Where's Jackie?"
Yeah, but you guys look out for K Squared Observer. It'll be recorded tonight, and then we'll post it up on Twitter when it's ready to go.
And I did talk to Kyle, the other Kyle. 10-second count will be recorded next week.
And the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Yeah, for Nerdy
it's
Elite.
Coming out very soon.
2 weeks.
So is Stranger
2 weeks
Things.
today.
Nerdy Elite's about to get off and pop it. If Kyle will go see this fucking Doctor Strange movie so we can talk about it. We'll talk about it too.
I might go do that tonight. Okay.
Right. So at Elite POV everywhere. And just remember that Prince Philium is the new #1 contender for the AWF championship against Revo.
If you win, you need to bring the title on Elite POV.
I will. I'll get like a cardboard one.
We got titles. We don't have PRs. We got them.
We got them.
Yeah.
We just help you break them, but we can help them collect them.
Well, thank you guys for listening to another great episode of Elite POV. And remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy. We'll see you guys in the E-Fed.